Boys lie. Them boys, they be lying.
Boys lie.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hello.
How you doing?
Long time no see.
How was your weekends?
It was good. It was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hit the streets.
As you always do.
As I always do. I saw a movie. I ordered too much food.
I got super organized this weekend.
I worked. Should we hop into story time?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
If you have a story you'd like to share on the Boys Lie podcast, please share via boyslieofficial.com under the podcast section. You can submit, and if your story gets chosen for this podcast, then you get a free sweatsuit.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, I'll go first. My boyfriend and I have been dating for about 5 years. In the beginning of our relationship, he was amazing towards me. I've known him since we were in high school, and we were always friends, so the feeling of falling in love with him just felt right. Everything for the first few years was mostly good, with a few hiccups along the way, such as adding other girls on Snapchat or liking other girls' photos on Instagram, which made me feel insecure, and I expressed that to him. His classic response was just to delete the whole app. As time went on, I noticed him on his phone more than usual. It got to the point that every time I reached for something next to him, like the remote, he would quickly snatch his phone in his hand, which was super sketchy.
If he's that insecure when you're reaching for the remote that you're going to steal his phone and run away
There's
with
something
it,
going on.
There's something wrong.
Yeah.
For sure.
I didn't feel right about it, and I didn't want to bring it up because he would get really defensive if I simply asked who he was texting or what he was doing on his phone. So I had a plan to wait until he fell asleep to check his phone. The first thing I did was check his search history. I found that all my friends were searched along with my sister's name and my mom. Then I got to his pictures. This man screenshotted pictures from my social media and from all these women, including my sister and my mom. Why are we taking hundreds of screenshots? I was thinking, what the hell? Why did he do this? What other reason would he have other than anything sexual? When I confronted him almost immediately, he called me crazy for going through his phone and that he shouldn't have to explain every detail of his life or private stuff like that to me. He explained that I would never understand how a man's brain works. I was absolutely baffled at his response and immediately packed my belongings and kicked him out of my apartment. He continued to text me and tell me he would never do that again, but the trust was already broken. Needless to say, he's blocked.
Thank God. But also, why does he have photos of your family?
Yeah, and your mom.
She didn't catch him cheating.
No,
right?
but I guess she just found like photos of her friends and his sister and his mom screenshotted from their Instagrams in his camera roll.
I feel like he was like gearing up to create like a fake Instagram account and pretend to like be her or something so he could follow everybody without being suspicious. That's why else would he screenshot all of the pictures if they're not sexual? If she didn't say they were like in bikinis or anything, right?
Well, they're from the social media, so it can't be anything too racy.
I don't know. I also just feel like if you catch your man like liking all these pictures on Instagram or Snapchatting girls and his response is, I'm just going to delete it. Like that's not necessarily like I'm going to change and like fix things. I feel like deleting it is just like his way of like, if he can't control himself.
Yeah.
Well, I think being apologetic and just deleting it, like I get being annoyed when someone's like, delete that off your social media. Like I get that.
No, but he deleted his entire Instagram.
That's crazy.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like just because she caught him liking other pictures, deleting your entire Instagram doesn't necessarily
I think it's like 0 to 100 with him clearly, which is why she felt the need to go through his phone or like the urge because she was clearly concerned. I think it's really weird that he'd be like saving photos.
But the hiding the phone makes those screenshots weirder.
it's something's not adding up. Why is he screenshotting all of the pictures?
I think you're right, actually. I bet
it's
he's
just
trying to make
weird.
some bunk account that he can like follow girls on.
I don't know.
I think that's bizarre. I
It's
need to
bizarre
like
in
Google
general.
search my own images, I think, to see if somebody's done that to me.
Yeah. I also feel like if I were in the situation where I felt like Kevin kept doing that with his phone, like grabbing it, I feel like it wouldn't ever hurt to be like, like, what are you hiding on there if you're snatching it up so fast? Like calling them out in the moment just to see how they react.
Yeah, like making some type of like double-ended joke.
Because
Yeah.
if they're all nervous about it, then clearly they have something to hide.
For sure.
I think that not having the urge, though, is really important and a key to a healthy relationship. And don't just avoid the truth because you fear change, because the change could be for the better. Like in this situation or circumstance, breaking up with him is probably the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I agree. Okay, I'm going to hop into the next story. I don't know where to start with this story or if it's worth sharing, but maybe this will help and be therapeutic in a sense. I, 28 female, met this man, we'll call him Colby, who's 32, when I was around 21 years old. And I had only had one relationship in my life prior to meeting him. I'm a plus-size woman and I'm very insecure. Dating was never really on my radar. When we first met, he was on the rocks with his long-term girlfriend / ex-fiance, who we're going to call Mary. But when we met, we seemed to hit it off pretty quick. And we started hanging out more frequently, and he told me that he was done with his ex. And we started seeing each other pretty publicly. But Colby ended up meeting with Mary behind my back and sleeping with her. I ended up taking him back. Things were going great between us. We were seeing each other all the time, talking about going to family events and doing everything a couple would do. I went to his work party and he introduced me to everyone, but he never asked me to be his girlfriend, and we never made things Facebook official. One night he wanted to go to the bar and I didn't, and that night he met someone new who we're going to call Mallory. Colby gave me the silent treatment, completely ghosted me, and then dropped me. I begged him to talk to me and work things out, but again, he started seeing someone else, and he made things Facebook official with Mallory. I was devastated, wondering why I wasn't good enough for him to be with publicly. I really thought that he liked me and we had a great connection and we had so many things in common and a great sex life. Was it because I was a fat girl? Was something wrong with me? Why didn't he actually want to be with me? And why was it so easy for him to be with someone else? It was so easy to be together. His friends loved me and my friends liked him, and his family even liked me. So I couldn't make sense of it and we stopped talking for a long time.
By the way, this has nothing to do with you being curvy, in my opinion.
that breaks
Like, I
my
hope
heart, though.
that you are very much so aware of this. This guy sounds like he's clearly not over things with his ex. There's still reminiscence of like that factor
Yeah.
there.
He's like at a bar, like, you know how dogs are like squirrel. Like he just
Yeah.
goes for whatever is like right in front of him that he's excited about.
It's so much
Yeah.
more simple. Like, that is exactly like the mindset that
It's
he
not
has.
anything, yeah.
So she stopped talking to him, but then they somehow ended up talking again. He came back around saying he was done with Mallory and that he made a mistake and he loved me. We spent my birthday together and he did all the right things. Got me all the gifts I could want. It was great. A few weeks later, my roommate saw him at a tattoo shop with Mallory. So then we stopped seeing each other for another 2 years after that.
2 years?
2 years.
Damn.
But during that time, he would tell me that he loves me, beg me for pictures of myself, but he wouldn't leave Mallory. I saw no one else during this period. Still to this day, I have not even kissed someone else. This guy sucks. Eventually, him and Mallory split and we start talking again, hanging out, sleeping together, and we were together all the time. And then again, he got distant and of course met someone new who we're going to call Alicia. I found out about Alicia and confronted him, and he denied even knowing who she was. She told me that they've been dating for months, and history repeats itself. We stopped talking. Then he comes back around again, saying Alicia is crazy and he made a mistake, and we try again. I cannot believe how many on and offs. This is insane.
I understand why, though. I understand wanting to be loved so hard by someone that you're infatuated with. Like, I can totally stand by you and I get why you did this, but at the same time, this man, like in the way that he's so simple-minded, him checking in with you isn't in an empathetic or sympathetic or genuine way. In fact, it's just to make sure that you're available to him, and he's going to use you until you decide one day that you're unavailable. My biggest advice, like already off the bat here, would be to be the biggest bitch to him and block him on everything.
So he comes back around saying Alicia is crazy and made a mistake, and they try again. But he doesn't make any effort. No time to see me, and will still not commit to me, but he tells me that he can't let me go. But he tells me he's not ready for a relationship and he needs to work on himself, and that there's nothing wrong with me. He just isn't ready to date. But not even 2 weeks later, he was publicly dating Alicia on Facebook. I guess my question or thought piece is, why do men do this? And why do we allow our insecurities to keep us with someone and crave their validation so much that we lose ourselves? I thought I could prove myself to be worthy of his love if I stuck it out and took care of him. But I wasted years of my life for someone who wouldn't even publicly, officially be with me. Instead, I let him show me that he didn't want me so many times. When they say you should leave the first time, that's the absolute truth. And now I'm left with even more insecurity, and I'm terrified to date or meet someone new because I feel like I'm not good enough and I just don't understand it.
That breaks my heart. That like fully breaks my heart. It's okay to want to be loved, and it's okay to go through these learning lessons. I just think that you can't overthink this, and I know it's hard because you've gotten to that point of being on and off teetering with this person for so long, but genuinely, like, it's easier said than done. Don't be insecure with yourself because this didn't work out. He is somebody who's so insecure he can't not be with someone. He doesn't know how to be alone.
Yeah.
You might not be the only one that's like on the back burner, like waiting for him too.
If he's gonna mute you, it's because he's hitting someone else up, and that's like the shittiest feeling ever to know that. But he has done you wrong and done you wrong time and time and time over again, and it's not your fault for wanting to be loved and get like this type of accepting validation from somebody that, again, you fully poured your heart into.
Totally. And like, was she asked, like, are all men like this? Like, no, they're not. And unfortunately, this is just one guy, like, out of a million men who ended up treating you poorly, and it happens to everybody. And I think that like the only way that you're going to be able to like feel excited about dating again is if you just kind of put yourself out there and just keep reminding yourself that, again, this has nothing to do with you. It doesn't matter what you look like, who you are. Like, I'm sure you're an incredible fucking person. You just need to give yourself the chance to like open yourself up to other people instead of this guy.
This guy can't be like, you know, ruining your only identity too, of like how you feel about yourself and how you are loved, you know?
Yeah. And once you get back out there again, like, you're going to understand that, and you're going to be like, oh my fucking God, like, you know, like, what was I doing and why did I not try this earlier? Like, just experience
the world
life.
will open, your eyes will open,
Yeah.
like all the things.
Try also exercising, doing something that makes you love yourself more once a day. So whether that be like getting ready in the morning and dolling yourself up so you feel like you're the baddest bitch in the world, or for me, sometimes I'll open up a sketchbook and just start coloring while I watch TV, but it makes me feel better inside. Like, pick something that's for you that kind of unties you from the entire world around you and makes you feel good about you. Just start there, and then again, put yourself out there.
And now you know too, so like the next time when you do get back into dating and if someone does treat you poorly, which it could happen, and again, it happens to everybody, it's happened to all of us millions of times, like now you know what to look for, so you can exit on the first red flag instead of continuously allowing it to happen to you, because you're better than that. Right back in when you start dating somebody new. We can't wait to hear about your new relationship.
Yeah, I'm stoked about that.
Last story.
Okay. After living with my ex-boyfriend after 8 or so months, our perfect picture relationship revealed some ... flaws. My boyfriend was significantly older than me. Yeah, I know. A successful entrepreneur, a doting father of 2 children, an avid gym goer, and a man of God. One day early in our relationship, he sat me down and told me he wants to give me the freedom to do whatever I want with my life. He encouraged me to quit my job and pursue what I really wanted, and told me that he would financially support me so that he could help me make that happen.
Would you guys do that if you weren't married? Quit your job and
Yes.
accept it?
Yes.
I don't know if I would.
I can't, but I'm too stubborn-willed to do that. For me, it would just be like you're giving in.
Then you're controlled by him.
Yeah. That's what it is. It would make me feel too
dependent
and overpowered.
Yeah, like, hi, can I have your credit card? I need to go get food. Like, no,
Yeah.
I would never want that.
Aram's like, I'm here for it.
I'm like, yeah, like.
But that's okay. Some people
Take care
are
of
like
me.
that. That's totally fine. Like, I have a
Yeah.
million friends that would do that and have done that and are still in that. Like,
Yeah, and they're successfully doing it.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Amazing.
there's a great chance of success with it.
Yeah.
It's
just
just not my
saying.
style.
Me
personally.
And I get that. I totally would.
Well, it all came to head one day when my dream man started changing. He went from bringing me coffee in bed and fresh flowers and inviting me to work out with him to waking up angrily and running out the door without me or even a word. He was irked by the sound of my voice.
What?
When the fuck did that happen?
This anger grew and I finally called him out. This infuriated him. My calm and soft-spoken lover was now throwing furniture, breaking glassware, and locking me in an apartment when I tried to leave.
Oh my God.
It's like I blinked an eye and didn't recognize my life anymore. This persisted and escalated. He became more psychologically and physically turbulent. He started disappearing for hours at a time, staying up all night and acting strange. I caught him Googling, quote unquote, how to turn off your location without notifying another person.
God.
Well,
Yeah.
get out of there, girl.
Somehow, I was the one in the wrong for looking at his phone. We broke up and made up 3 or 4 times, each resulting in me leaving the apartment but ultimately coming back. Sometimes he'd beg for me to come back. Sometimes I'd beg for him to take me back. It seemed that the trend was that to him, everything was my fault. See, this is where I think that the accepting the gifts and the offers, it's a control thing where it's like clearly also becomes baggage that the other person will get sick of.
Like, and we don't understand why all of a sudden he just flipped a switch on her. Like, it just started happening randomly.
Yeah, she didn't give much of an explanation for it.
Like, it sounds so crazy to me.
She became more and more dependent on him and he like tweaked out.
But it's
But
like,
I mean,
dude,
he's
you fucking told her to quit her job so you could, I mean,
totally, this is his fault. This is not your fault.
that's why she shouldn't do it.
He received negative feedback at work, my fault. Hungry, tired, anxious, my fault. He was concealing a drug problem from me that eventually was revealed when I found him passed out in his car that he crashed. Shortly after it was repossessed and he was evicted, I ghosted him after letting him buy me an apology Dyson hair wrap.
Gotta get the hair wrap.
Oh, and a designer purse, sprinkle, sprinkle.
Okay.
I was sad about the breakup, but ready to embark on a new chapter of my life where it wasn't centered around catering to an unappreciative man-child on drugs. Within a few months, he started stalking me, calling my phone 100 times a day. I would block his number, and he would make 10 more. He would sit on the corner of my house in someone else's car because, again, his was repossessed, and even follow me home from work to my new man's house. After ducking the cops for a few weeks, I had subpoenaed the court for an affidavit to have a restraining order served by a family friend instead of continuing to wait for the sheriff to do it with and risk my safety. This was 7 months ago. I have since gotten 4 new orders of protection, and he has been arrested for violating them twice, but they always let him go. He has since fled the state and is living 1,500 miles away.
Thank God.
This would be good if he wasn't continuing to taunt me via email, threatening to leak nude photos of me to my colleagues, clients, friends, and family members. The last email to me, along with the promiscuous photos of me, alleged that he was going to be back in my city and asking me to meet for coffee. In all caps, she goes, laughing my ass off. The police and I are contemplating setting this fucker up, responding with something like, I miss you and still think about you. I wish things never came to this. Let's go grab a coffee when you're here. I can't wait to order an oat milk cappuccino while they escort him away in handcuffs. Boys lie, but so will I.
Period.
Yeah.
And I hope you do that, and I hope you tell us what happens after.
I agree. I want to see his
'Cause
reaction
I'm
when he's
invested.
pulled away. But I also think threatening somebody with their own nudes is the most foul thing a
I
person
Oh no,
can
it's
do.
so fucked up.
It is so scary the way that somebody's personality can flip and change, and like it feels like overnight in this story, but who knows how long it took. But like started off amazing, their relationship was so strong, like they were so excited, and all of a sudden now he's this crazy person.
He was always that crazy person.
I'm sure he was, but like what? Right back in when he gets arrested.
Please.
What the hell?
Yeah, I'd love to know. I also think it's exhausting. We get so many stories written in, and I see this on the news all the time, but so many women go, or people in general go to get like a restraining order, and the fact that you have to like journal out instances of people stalking you or doing things to you, and eventually it can just cause you harm.
Yeah.
Like in the longer term, it makes you not even want to go to the police in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of time it's never like successful either.
Like it doesn't prevent them from coming near you.
Because they still can.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not like there's like a force field. He walks 500 feet close and he bounces back.
I wish there was.
Like, I don't really know how those work unless you call the police and be like, hey, he's breaking the restraining order. But then he's gonna run away.
Just walk around with the taser.
Yeah, that's a smart idea, actually. Walk around with a taser. You have a stalker?
Is it legal to tase somebody?
No, it's
Out
not.
of self-defense.
Right.
Out of self-defense, it's not.
Oh, it's not legal out of self-defense.
No, out of self-defense, it's legal. But you can't just be like, here's my taser, I'm going to tase you. You can't just do that.
Then that's like abuse.
Yeah, of course. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
Yes. You guys ever been tased?
Fuck no. Have you?
No, but you know how sometimes people do that for like fun.
I'm like curious about it. I know that when you get tased, you pee your pants.
No, I probably would.
I do wonder if you were getting attacked by a bear, though, if you could tase a bear and if it would actually work.
What I wonder is if you're touching someone. So like, let's say I'm touching Aram's arm somehow, but I also like tased his leg. Do I get tased?
Probably not
then?
unless you're wet.
Wet?
Because the electricity travels through water.
But you're electric. Also, people are electric.
Oh, right, because yeah, and then when there's a tsunami.
So you can't tase them then if they're grabbing you.
Correct.
Well, I don't even know how you'd be able to tase them if they're grabbing you because you're being grabbed.
I'm not sure.
It probably less hurts you, more hurts them. Still go for it.
Well, speaking of weaponizing technology, I have an interesting category subject I would like to discuss.
Okay.
There's actually two, and it starts with Elon Musk. Elon Musk's SpaceX center area where they are developing new projects there is right next to Cards Against
Is
Humanity.
that in Austin, Texas?
I have no idea.
It would make sense if it was.
I know Tesla is, so I was just curious.
I'm not sure,
Okay.
honestly. Maybe I should have done a little bit more research.
No,
We're
it's
not a
fine.
news
That-
podcast.
I
that
thought Tesla
doesn't
HQ
matter.
was in San Fran.
I could have sworn it was in Texas, but I could be wrong.
I'm not sure. Anyways, Cards Against Humanity's properties right here and SpaceX's properties right here. And they've been getting a lot of garbage from SpaceX, Cards Against Humanity has. So they've been getting really upset because basically any type of refuse or trash that SpaceX has, it ends up on their property.
Elon's like, just dump it on the other side.
Yeah. So I guess Cards Against Humanity sent out a letterhead or some sort of thing to notify SpaceX to say, hey, like, stop dumping on our grounds.
Well,
like,
yes.
that's fucking rude. And in response to that, Elon Musk offered them a very low-balled offer to buy their property out and basically be like, get the fuck out of here. We don't really care. To which they said no. In a letter penned out to their fans, Cards Against Humanity said Elon Musk's SpaceX was building some space thing nearby, and he figured he could use the Cards Against Humanity site basically to dump all of his shit all over our gorgeous plot of land without asking. And after we caught him, SpaceX gave us a 12-hour ultimatum to accept a lowball offer on our property for less than half of our land's value. And we said, go fuck yourself. And Elon Musk responded, we'll see you in court.
Good for you. Good for you, Cards Against Humanity. Stand your ground.
Yeah.
Fuck
don't
you,
let the
Elon.
big
I feel
boys
like,
get
dude,
you
You're
out.
dumping trash. Get off my lawn. Like, get the fuck off my lawn. Like, you're literally dumping trash on our fucking lot. Like, that's so rude.
Does Elon even have like a reason to go to court, like a fight? Because he's doing everything
Yeah, how is
wrong.
he gonna win that?
I don't really get it.
I don't think he cares. I think like
Clearly
maybe he's too
not.
politically involved with certain things that he feels like he can get away with everything, or maybe he's just so rich that like any lawsuit he knows with Cards Against Humanity, like no matter how far it stretches legally, he has more money to overpower that.
It's true. He should just pay
So
them more money
stupid.
at least.
I would have just came back with a second offer saying I'll move on the condition you pay me this much money, otherwise stop.
I mean,
using
it's
us as a trash
literally a
can.
penny to him. Whatever amount you get, you say. I find it embarrassing on his end to like be some big top dog and like trying to like shut out the smaller business next to you.
Yeah, it's like you're punching
Yeah.
down. There's somebody that I know that used to work with Elon in the Tesla startup phases, and as it like grew and whatnot, and they said that, well, obviously like he is crazy, but when he would bring in his Tesla for like a tweak or something, if something needed to get done on his car, they would always find drugs in his car, like Molly or like ecstasy.
That
I do know that he's
Psychedelics,
a big psychedelic guy.
Allegedly.
I believe it.
But a lot of like the tech like tycoons have definitely been like that. Steve Jobs was one of them, for instance. I mean, he was tripping acid everywhere.
Tripping all around town.
If you can, you can.
I mean, he was dipping his feet in toilet water before he'd go into meetings. Like that's how far he was like tripping down the rabbit hole.
Speaking of acid and water, did I ever tell the story on the pod about my friend who stepped on the acid sheet?
No.
Oh my God. So in Boulder, there was this kid who was making acid, and like, you know how it's like little
Making
squares.
acid in his Boulder home.
Yeah, but it was like on a sheet.
That's
like
crazy.
this.
Okay, yeah.
So like when I guess there was like a sheet printout with like a bunch of different little tabs that he was gonna sell, and he got out of the shower one day and didn't realize that the sheet was on the ground, and he stepped on it with wet feet, and it absorbed into his body.
He must have been tripping for days.
He was tripping for like maybe 3 days straight, but he didn't go to the hospital.
Did he just stay in his house?
Yeah.
That's fucking terrifying.
Spooky.
Yeah, especially when you accidentally get dosed or you take a drug that you didn't want to take, is like that's like the worst thing ever.
I got into the Menendez brothers.
Oh my God,
fucking
same.
good. I have 2 episodes left. I think I watched 6 yesterday.
The last episode where he's just talking to her the whole time about the sexual
that's
abuse.
one single shot. Did you know that?
I knew it. I said that. I said, I bet you this is
I
filmed
was
in one
reading
take
about
to
it
Kevin.
online, and I was like, "This is so fucking
Oh my
impressive."
God, I literally said that to Kevin. He's like,
ate that.
probably not, Leo. Like that's
No,
really
and it
hard to
was.
do. I'm like, it looks like it is.
And
like,
it was, and he ate it up, and I guess they had to do it a few times because one single shot for the whole episode.
It
Incredible.
is so crazy to me
Did you see the controversy?
what?
that Kim went
Yeah.
to the prison to go talk to them and chat it up.
Yeah, and like no, well that yes, but then like Eric one of them said that like the show's not accurate, and like he doesn't like the way that they're like depicting them.
Eric is the soft brother, and Lyle is the one that's a little bit. He's the one with that's
with
bald.
the toupee. Yeah.
Anywho, while we're on the TV conversation, we need to talk about a DM that we received this weekend.
Oh
Yes.
my God, I almost forgot.
So for those of you who haven't seen The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on Hulu, you have to. It is so good. And people are actually, my friends are, from high school are asking me this weekend, they're like, is it like The Real Housewives or like anything? I'm like, I don't really think
It
it's
is
like anything,
so-
but it's similar in the sense where it's reality TV, and then they're also sitting down and doing like interviews, and you're hearing
But
their
I think
side.
that this is kind of like the next generation of what reality TV will be, and it's the first of its kind because it's so geared towards.
Well, it's so
MOMTOK,
niche.
this Episode or sorry,
It's so
this account called
niche.
Yeah, it's
MOMTOK.
really niche.
So niche.
I love it. It is messy. One of the main characters for sure is messy, but like I still stand by this show so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
But anyways, we got a message request from Jenna, and Jenna is a character who is only spoken about on the show, and Jenna is allegedly the one who cheated with Dakota while he was with Taylor.
Yes, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's like spoken about throughout the entire season, but again, you never see her. You don't know what she looks like. We never hear her voice until like the last episode.
And Taylor makes these claims throughout the entire season too, that if there was anything else that came out about Jenna and Dakota together, then Taylor would call it quits. And I feel like Dakota's also been like harping on her to get married, not just because of the religious part, but because he wants a bigger financial support background. He seems like just an asshole user guy.
Yeah, I feel like he's a clout chaser.
Yeah.
Let's get into why we're talking about this in the first place. We received a DM.
Oh, yeah. We received a DM. So
Jenna.
sorry. Let me go back and rewind.
From Jenna. Jenna's the girl that allegedly hooked up with Taylor, Frankie Paul's baby daddy. We've never seen her. But we received a nice DM from her this weekend, which was so funny.
I'm going to read it. Hello with a heart emoji. I would love to collab with you guys. I don't know if you've watched Secret Wives of Mormon Lives, but I am Jenna from the show. It's all a big question whether Dakota cheated with me or not, and I would love to make some TikToks in your merge. I have a bigger following on there, but I'd be willing to do it on both platforms as well. Let me know if you're interested. One of my friends recommended reaching out, and it's so fitting for the situation.
Yes, so fitting. You're a mistress. What?
I don't think Jenna lied. Jenna never lied in this situation.
I thought she did.
No, I think we don't know if she did or didn't, because at the end they don't ever find out.
Oh, but I thought that Jenna was Taylor's friend that's why Taylor was so upset. No?
I thought she was just a random girl.
I thought she was the mistress.
I thought that they were friends with her, and that's why it was like such a big deal to Taylor. But I also could be so wrong.
No, because Michaela didn't have her number. She had to find it. She had to ask someone for it.
No, but also I met Taylor also had a different friend group, like a different MOMTOK. Like she started MOMTOK with 2 other girls who you haven't seen on the show, but she also has different friends. So I was wondering if maybe it was Taylor's friend. I could be so wrong. Someone fact check me, please.
What I'm curious about is if Jenna does say that she did in fact like hook up with Dakota that night, and Dakota's like deny city, maybe it's like rebounding back around now, and maybe that's why Taylor's not with him. I'm not really sure. But I did take a screenshot of Jenna's message and I did send it to Jessie because I had to be loyal in that way.
Well, what did she say, Jessie, when you sent it to her?
She goes, I'm dead, exclamation point, and then with these laughing emojis goes looking for her 15 minutes with the eye thing.
Yeah.
But is she really looking for her 15 minutes?
She's looking for free clothes.
Definitely that.
And no one knows who Jenna is because she wasn't on the show, so I don't think she's worth gifting out until we see her face actually on season 2. Because like, what's that going to do for us right now?
Facts.
And I'm sure she's also DMing lots of brands being like, I'm Jenna from this show.
You haven't seen me, but you've heard of me.
Yeah.
If you're listening and you live in Utah or you're Mormon, I'm so curious in hearing more about like your religion.
Oh, and like the soaking. Do you guys know about that?
Soaking?
Yeah, how the Mormons soak.
Like a marinade? Like meat?
So you can't have sex, but you stick your penis in somebody. You can just let it sit there.
Just sit.
You soak it in, and like that's okay because you're not moving.
You're not penetrating.
You're not doing the physical act of having sex. Your penis is just inside the vagina, not moving. There's also rumors.
Like, guys.
No, wait, listen. That people are underneath the bed and will
bed.
move the bed for them because they're not allowed to move. But if something's happening where they're moving because of something else, it's
Then-
okay to be moving while you're having
Like
sex.
just fuck. Just fuck. Just enjoy your life. Just fucking fuck. I promise you, God will not smite you. The things that I've done, girl, like you're fine.
Well, they're going to keep on soaking.
Keep on soaking.
Soak. Apparently the BYU dorms are crazy because everyone's soaking.
What?
And they're pushing the beds.
What is this? Handmaid's Tale?
Soaking up the sun. And that's all, folks.
On that note,
Enjoy the ride.
and remember that.
Boys alive.
Woo!